Very good, and just like I can't imagine like telling my 14-year-old self, okay, so when you're 31, right, you're gonna wrestle at Wembley Stadium, and there's gonna be 50,000 people in there, and you're gonna come out being inducted into the Assassin's Creed, and Ezio's gonna do it for you. You're gonna have the sickest entrance ever, and your mum's gonna be out there, and they're all gonna be cheering their surname. Oh, I don't believe you. I do know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's been wild, and like now that this is back, it's time to remind people what this international title is about, and it's about taking on the best challengers, putting on the best matches, and the best wrestlers are going to be doing so.
I have a million questions for you, but I'm going to open up to these lovely people and let them have at it.
Go on, open up.
Well, Brian Zell, PW Torch. Within the last year, you mentioned how important family is to you, being a husband, being a father. How did both of those things prepare you for this moment this evening?
Preparing them is just, it's been real good to have a support system. Like 2 weeks when I was about to go out there, somebody brought my missus down to give me the biggest hug, and just, you know, those moments just unnerve me. It just like feels, everything just feels right now, and it felt like the right time, the right place, and just their love and support and the energy that they've given me throughout this journey, and just like, man, those two, like her kid and that girl has completely turned my life around, and I'll never be able to thank them for it, and just the motivation to just push me past that finish line was all there.
Well, massive congratulations, like you mentioned, you've come so far since, I remember those WCPW days when you were wrestling Ricochet, and now you and Ricochet are in the same organisation, which is absolutely incredible. Everyone wants to see that dream match.
I mean, look, yeah, dude, so do I. I mean, man's got to work for it though, like, you know what I mean? There's a long list of people that he's going to have to beat before he can call that the international champion. But honestly, mate, honestly, I think it's been 8 years since that Best of Super Juniors match, and we've both gone in our separate directions. We've both done well, but like now he's under this microscope, and maybe, just maybe, I just called him out all those times just to see if he's got any bollocks. And he's shown up, right? He's shown up, so I'd like to see what he's going to be doing here at AEW. I'm excited, and I'm really, really happy for him.
He's a pretty good friend of yours?
Pretty good, I mean, he's alright, I don't mind him. Fucking something prick, isn't he? I love him. Melted in! Oh, look at that. How you feeling? You good?
Good. How are you?
Mate, I'm doing dandy. Uncle Meltzer's over here. What we got?
Was that your question, Dave?
Yeah, how are you doing? Alright, thanks, Dave.
So as far as that go, what are your goals now for the championship? And I was going to ask, like, what the Ricochet match, the Best of Super Juniors match, how do you feel that changed the trajectory of your career?
Excitement for the championship, just because there is like so many challenges that I could easily do. And once again, this championship knows no borders. It can be defended anywhere, so I am open and I'm willing to travel wherever our partnerships lie and to test myself to be the best wrestlers in the world. And about the trajectory of the Ricochet match that happened. Mate, it put me under a microscope that I don't think I was ready for, because like as a 23 back then? I think I was up to, yeah, I was 23 back then, and it was the first time I was a part of like a real wrestling company. Do you know what I mean? I was just grafted away at the indies, and not that like the indies aren't real companies, but there's so much to it. There's like the promotional side of things, and then when that blew up, and then I had like, it was the Marmite of pro wrestling, right? It was just like you either loved it or you hated it, and for me, it was just a case of like, this is a learning experience for me. It's to take all this on board, like all this criticism, all this love. Here's where I could have done better, here's where I could have gone worse. Taking all that on board and then learning from other people. Like, the one thing I'll always say, right, is the Ricochet match done wonders for me, right? But that was just what we would do in PWG, that was what we would do in RevPro. And then when it was just kind of like along the lines of, I done that, and then they just went, alright, get in the ring with Shibata. And I was like, oh, hell, piss out of me. And like, it's taking that match, then wrestling Shibata and taking that match, then wrestling Okada and taking that match, to wrestling Kenny and taking that match, to wrestling Takeshita and taking that match, to wrestling Danielson and taking that match, and then taking Max. I'm constantly evolving. And that beginning step, I'll never forget those days when I wrestled Ricochet and my life kind of just changed from there.
Hi, Will. First of all, congratulations. I'm Maurice Herrera with Lucha Libre Online.
Yeah.
And so MJF, when he was the champion, he comes over here to London and then to Mexico City. And I saw you on Twitter or X that you are interested too to go to Mexico. So right now that you are the champion, it's possible to see you like giving the same opportunity as MJF to the Mexican luchadors.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it a lot, right? I have stayed away from Mexico just because it's a fear. I am generally like, oh God, I don't think I would last there. I'm not gonna lie. But then everybody has come back with glowing reviews. Like all my friends I've gone over there, like Michael Oaken told me he had the best time of his life. Zach told me that it was the best time. So like it's getting to the point now. And then I saw that tweet, and it was like there's only like I think it's like Moxley, Danielson,
The Earthquake.
Pardon?
And the Earthquaker.
The Earthquaker, right? There's 3 guys that have ever done Tokyo Dome, Madison Square Garden, and Arena
Moxley,
Mexico.
Danielson, and Earthquake?
Jericho.
Oh, Jericho. They said Earthquake.
I heard that
I heard Earthquake. I was like, did Earthquake too? Yeah, I heard Earthquake. You said, sorry, no, I just, yeah. It was
Is that right, though?
No, he said Jericho. Moxley, Jericho, Danielson?
No, Earthquake.
Earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear you.
Yeah.
Fucking love. What are you doing? What's your problem with Earthquake? So
I know, I grew up, well, to be honest, he was like, when I was growing up, he was one of the, when I was a kid, I watched him, one of the first show I ever went to, where you will be with, that's a very good segue. My problem with Earthquake is when I was 8 years old, as a little boy, the first wrestling show I ever went to, it'll be the arena we go to this Wednesday in Champaign, Illinois. I get to show you the hometown,
really?
where I first grew up watching wrestling as a little boy. The first wrestling show my dad ever took me to, I watched Earthquake's kill a snake, squash a snake, and so he's a bad guy, and that's why he's so. And that was the first show I ever.
So, dude, be honest with me. Do you suffer any trauma? Is there any moments where you flash back and just go, "Oh man"?
He ate steak burgers, man. It was not good. But yeah,
But
no.
like, yeah, it's Wembley Stadium, Tokyo Dome, Madison Square Garden, and Arena Mexico.
Yeah.
The only one I haven't done is Arena Mexico, and everyone's been saying high things about it. So I think it's time for me to pop on over.
Look at that. Let's go. I love it.
I will.
Yes,
Connor Dillon.
good.
I'm not too bad, thank you. Wesley Examiner here. I just wanted to say your entrance, it was quite a spectacle. Assassin's Creed themed, obviously. I just wanted to know how that came together with you and even Ubisoft, if they were involved.
Yeah, so my mate Farwan is just sitting over there, right? He's the ultimate link-up artist, mate. He's, I just put the microphone in my mouth. Bit weird. But he's the ultimate link-up man. And for Wrestle Kingdom, we was able to do like the Jack the Ripper one from Assassin's Creed Syndicate was able to link me up with Ubisoft, and he done a great number on them for social media and like promoting wise. And that wasn't like the current game that they had, it was Mirage at that time. And then it got back to Ubisoft and they were like, dudes, like we've got Shadows coming up, which the concept of Shadows is going to be in Japan this time around. And I spent 8 years of my life growing up in Japan. And Assassin's Creed is generally, I can't make this up, when I was growing up, when I was training, they were like, attach yourself to something that fans can attach themselves to, right? And I loved Assassin's Creed, all my friends loved Assassin's Creed, so I made it my gimmick, the early Assassin. So in a weird way, it paved the way for me so that I can grow and do all this. And then when it was able to link together, it was just like the perfect scenario. So like, honestly, thank you so much Ubisoft, thank you Assassin's Creed. Thanks to all the breakdancers and the gymnasts as well that were doing all the tricks for me as well, because and Mansura as well, just created one of my favourite moments of my entire life. Just I'm a legit assassin now, man. Like I'm actually a part of the game. So do you know what I mean? Like there isn't a limit to this anymore. Like we could even do like a toy. We could actually do like an action figure of the Assassin's Creed stuff. honestly, I'd love to be like a downloadable character as well. Like, honestly, there isn't any limits anymore with this. Maybe even my own game.
We'll take 2 more questions for Will.
Hi, Will. Harry Seven from the Times. I think Singing Foot was, we can see one of the most authentic people in wrestling. When he Dynamite on Wednesday, I never thought he'd hear the word "sit back" on a program for an international company. And I don't know if you want to ship it as well. How easy is it be, or how hard has it been sometimes to stay true to yourself and to be yourself on and off, in and out of the ring, and to be Will Ospreay? Because I think, what you see versus what you get is what you
honestly, mate, like, I can only apologise. I'm a bit annoyed sometimes. I can't turn it off. Like, it's just one of those things where I am who I am now. And like, I do have a little bit of a naughty side. I am who I am and I can't change it. But like, yeah, man, I just wanted to. There's so much going on in our country right now that really scares me, and I am just a little bit like, oh God, I hope everyone's okay. So I just wanted to be a bit of joy. So the moment I was just thinking, oh, I've got to clean up my mess, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, what? Like, there has to be something to this, and then I just thought of Barry Scott, and I was like, I wonder if they'll know. And when they all said it, I was, oh mate, this UK crowd, honestly. Like, next year we're obviously doing like Forbidden Door, right, in London, 2025. Is it the same day, 25th of August?
Yeah, 24th, yeah, bank holiday, yeah.
There is no reason, right? After seeing that Cardiff, we should just do a tour in the UK. Just because there is just, mate, we could easily hit Glasgow, we could do Belfast, we could do Manchester, we could do Birmingham, we could do Cardiff again, we could do London. Like, honestly, Yanks, we just showed you up. That's how you do it, do you know what I mean? We just done it. So like, I really want to do like, and there's no reason why we couldn't do like a big tour leading up to Forbidden Door, just because we smashed it, eh? The Brits are just great, they're the best wrestling fans, and they're just happy boy.
Hey! Last question for Will?
That's good, that's good advice.
Can I have a tour?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
2-month tour.
How novel, it's a great idea.
Hi Will, I'm from One Foot Recorder. You're local.
Yes, done! How are you?
I'm okay, bro. With yourself?
Mate, I'm doing well, boss. Now that you're here, especially.
Explain, a local lad winning a major title in front of all your local fans. Please explain what it feels like.
So I'm going to tell you this. This is honestly, this makes me so happy. When I was 14 years old, right, and my mum got me like this wrestling ring to keep me off the streets. We then discussed about doing our own show. We were like, we're good enough. Us backyarders, we're good enough to do our own show. So my mum helped me put on like a wrestling show in this like in the Royals Youth Centre, and we were like, how are we going to get people through the door? I know, the Romford Recorder, and you guys actually publicised my first ever not professional backyarders, but my first ever wrestling match, like ever. Like, there's photos of me in the paper and everything. There was a geezer actually that his parents didn't want him doing any more wrestling, and because he wasn't allowed to do wrestling, he weren't meant to be on the show, but we didn't tell his parents he was on the show. It was the front fucking page. So his parents were like fucking fuming. Like, dude, from 14 years old to wrestling opposite of Tesco was mind-blowing. Now this journey, I've wrestled opposite of Tesco, I've then wrestled in the Resistance Gallery, I've wrestled in the Electric Ballroom, I've gone over to York Hall, I went over to Japan and done a Tokyo Dome and a Sumo Arena, I've wrestled in Madison Square Garden, and now, like, I've just wrestled for the second time in my life, which is a flipping crazy sentence to say, Wembley Stadium. I'm amongst the elite, mate.
I'll make sure I get this in the back page of the One Foot Recorder.
Or could put like some naughty pictures on the other side as well. Like, gotta be like one of those like page 3 boys. Like, do you know what I mean?
2026. Make sure you're through the top of the bill, mate.
Oh, well, it's a long way away, but we have to see what happens. The style this man
I
wrestles
might
is very dangerous to
I
plan
might
with
get
him in
shit as
2026, but...
I might get shit as well. Like, do you know what I mean? If you look at me and just be like, he's not what he used to be. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nah, fuck it. I've got loads of this.